What is up, you guys? It is time for a 75 hard update. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Adriana. I do all types of wellness videos. I am a nutrition coach through Precision Nutrition and just someone who is also just on their own weight loss journey. I do have a video on the reasoning of why I'm starting 75 hard, also because I did make some minor adjustments, which already means that I'm breaking 75 hard, which I'll get into right now because I have a lot of thoughts. I'm kind of already at the halfway point, which is insane. Honestly, time means nothing. So I wanted to give my thoughts because, again, I have a lot of thoughts and obviously I still have halfway. So I'm pretty sure towards the end, when I recap, I'm gonna have even more thoughts. I don't want to make this too long, and let's get into it. So first off, I wanted to talk about 75 hard itself because I already kind of talked about this in my initial video, but I want to reiterate this again. This trend is not for everyone. I feel like I have a whole rant about trends and social media, not necessarily just about this, just in general. Just because something is trending does not mean you have to participate, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like this is definitely one of those things, and you're gonna be like, well, you're doing it. I know that I'm doing it, but listen, one of the reasons too that I'm specifically harping on this is because a lot of people are like, well, it's toxic. Can this challenge be toxic? Absolutely. However, this is not a weight loss fitness program. And again, that's also why I feel like a lot of people are like seeing the more negative side of it because they're like, oh, well, like it's so restrictive. It is, but it's not meant to be for like an everyday person who wants to lose weight. This was originally a mental strength type of program just to see if you can do it, just to see if you have the mental capacity to like push yourself for 75 days to do this. So I just wanted to mention that because obviously you guys have seen variations of this challenge or people just being like, well, let's do it this way. And it's kind of like, I understand the sentiment behind it, but like the point of this was just meant to be like a mental strength thing. You know, and if you can't do it, it's okay. It's gonna sound silly because again, I did modify this, so like you're probably like, you're such a hypocrite, and yes, I am. I think my point is like, I'm aware of the reasoning behind it. Like, I'm not doing it 100%, so I'm already not doing 75 hard, but I'm also not gonna be like, this is a terrible thing and why is it restricting people? If you feel like it's restricting you, this challenge is not for you. And that's okay. We shouldn't be pressured to participate in all the trends that are online, if that makes sense. I wanted to talk about that too because as I'm doing it, obviously I've been sharing my journey on TikTok and on my YouTube channel, on Shorts side. And on TikTok, obviously I've seen so many people like, well, I'm trying to do it and I'm doing this. It did kind of like stress me out because I was like, I hope that I'm giving a good example of this to people and not be like super restrictive or show like a very negative side of it. Like, I want people to do it because they generally want to do it and they want to like get something out of it, because I do say this probably will build some healthy habits because obviously you're doing something for 75 days, it starts to become a habit eventually. I feel like it's like the self-awareness of it. Am I doing this for the right reasons? And knowing, I guess, where my limits are, which again is something that I'm going to touch on right now when I get through all the points of what this challenge consists of and how I'm doing with them. I hope that makes sense. Again, if you guys have any questions or any clarifications that you guys need me to make, let me know down below because it's a complicated thing to like talk about, I guess, the reasoning behind it or like my reasoning. But now let's get into how I'm doing with the actual challenge itself. One of the first things, and actually one of the major issues, which again is why I wanted to like talk about that first, was because one of the things is I get to follow a diet. My diet is to just stick to calorie deficits. This is where I do see those negative kind of traits come out because I've been eating in a calorie deficit even before this challenge started. One of my main focus is to always get my protein in because I weightlift. I want to, look like I weightlift. So getting protein in is really good. However, ever since the challenge has started, if I don't meet my protein goal, but I meet my calorie deficit goal, I just don't try to hit my protein. And again, that is becoming like a negative thing to me because I'm realizing that like before the challenge started, I would at least, even if I went like a couple over, I wanted to get my protein in, but now I don't. And now in my head, I'm like, no, I have to meet my calorie deficit. I can't go over, can't do anything. So if I'm low on protein, I'm just like, oh well. And again, that's not something that I want to do. I want to make sure that I get my protein in. So that has definitely been a challenge and obviously something that I'm very aware of now that I'm like, okay, I can see where the restrictiveness comes in and it can be not good. I do understand that. And that's definitely something that I wouldn't say I'm struggling with, but I feel like even more so lately, I've become super aware that that's like a thing. Hopefully now until the end, I can actually be more aware of like, okay, I'm gonna get my protein in first and then go from there. The next thing is getting two workouts in, one outside. Like I said, this is one of those ones that I modified because, like I said, I'm a woman and being outside is not always ideal for me. Plus, I live in a very warm area of California. This week alone that I'm filming this, we've had like up 100-degree weather. It's been miserable. For the most part, I've been able to like walk outside during the week and then do my workout at the gym, but like there's days that I'll just do a treadmill workout and then do like a separate workout. That was one of the modifications that I made. Again, it's just not easy for me to go outside. However, it has been easy for me to get 2 workouts in. I have had no issue with that. During the weekdays, it's actually the easiest because I usually walk at my lunch breaks. I go to the gym in the afternoon, so that always works out perfectly. Obviously on the weekends is where it becomes a little bit more of a challenge because I have other activities. I wake up early to at least go get my walk in and then do like a workout at the gym. I started doing a lot more at-home workouts that I can find. At least it's been happening. I've been able to like make it work. Then the drinking water. This one has been a challenge because I drink a lot of water, but I always like forget to drink, especially again during the weekends. I feel like at work I have like a water bottle and it's like at my desk, so like I'm more aware I need to drink it. It's on the weekends that I forget. So I've been making more so a point to like have my hydro flask with me. I even thought about getting a second hydro flask so I can put all my fun stickers, like a smaller hydro flask, because mine's just like a 30-ounce one. So sometimes it's like a lot to carry with me. But I've been pushing through with this. Obviously, what I hate about this, I already have a small bladder and go to the restroom a lot. Obviously, drinking even more water has made that worse and it's been very annoying. I wake up a lot more in the middle of the night to just go to the bathroom and I hate that. But you know, it is what it is. We're drinking more water and yay. The other one that I modified, which again is really weird, is the reading a book one. Like I mentioned in my initial video, I'm not doing any of those self-help non-fiction books just because I just don't like them. I read them before. I read again Atomic Habits before. I really enjoyed it, but those books put me in such a slump. For me, reading is an escape. I needed to take a break from everything. It's what, you know, gives me a mental break from everything and gives me a moment to just enjoy in myself. That's more self-help for me, you know, to have an escape. So I'm just reading my fiction books, having fun with those. The weekend is where it gets, everything gets hard. That's usually when I have obviously the hardest time remembering to read, because during the week, again, it's really easy. I read during my commute, fine, get it out of the way. But it's the weekends where like I haven't been used to like reading before, so like now I have to make sure that like, I have my iPad out because that's where I read my books, and make sure that like actually read, which sometimes I forget nighttime and I'm like, I have to read. So that one's been really tough. Weirdly, out of all of the things, that's been the toughest because I feel like I can easily forget to do that, and then I'm like rushing, like, oh my gosh, I have to feel like I completed this day. But again, it's mostly on the weekends because sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind, you know. But thankfully, like, I'm reading pretty good books that like I know that like I want to read what's next. So that's again been helping me to actually be like, okay, let me knock this out and enjoy it. Really, the fact that that's like the one of the hardest points is really funny. But yeah, then the last one is to take progress photos. Again, I just did this regardless of this challenge. I'm not a scale person. I've always done either measurements or progress photos. That's my best way to like, I guess, compare my progress. So that's been easy. Something that I did forget to do, I love that I just said I'm not a weight scale person, but I'm going to talk about the scale. I didn't weigh myself when I started the challenge till now, so I have no idea how I'm doing in that way. So I'm going off my progress photos, which again is fine actually, now that I mention it. Good things is that there's a pair of pants that I wore recently and they fit really well compared to the last time I wore them, so that made me really happy. So we're making good progress. But also, side note, I am on metformin, which is a whole other thing that I have a video about. So I think the combination of the two things is just, you know, my progress is progressing. I'm curious to see how I'll end the whole program. It's definitely really tough, especially again, it's like those times where like I have to make educated decisions on food because sometimes like nutrition facts aren't there and I have to just make the smartest choice for me. Also, obviously, like explaining to people like, oh, I have to be doing this or like doing that. Like obviously at the start people are like, why are you working out so much? And I'm like, I just have to do it for the challenge. That's actually another thing about this challenge. Rest breaks are important. Like honestly, working out every day is not really that ideal, and that's also why for like the days where I'm not doing my like actual weight training, I'm doing just like a home workout that's very like low impact, because I want it to be more of like an active rest type of thing, because it is not good to be going all out with your body every day, which is a whole other thing we can talk about too. That's definitely been one of my least favorite things. I'm doing like chiller workouts that like I don't have to like put my body in so much stress on days that I don't have my actual like weight training. That's one of those things about this program, but we're trucking through. Honestly, I'm doing a little bit more better than I thought, and again, it's because I was already doing some of these things already. Obviously not as intense as this program requires. Since I was already kind of doing them, it was just being like, okay, let me just dive in and actually do a type of situation. So that's been interesting. I'm curious to see how this ends. Obviously, now that we're like at the second half of it, like I feel like obviously I want to end strong and actually end well, because it's really easy to flake out and be like, maybe not. I do say that like recording the shorts and for TikTok has helped to keep me accountable, because I'm more aware of like I need to be like actually doing something so I can record it and show for it. That's been interesting. That's my thoughts so far. It's been a very interesting process. Obviously, I'm learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about this challenge itself. Been interesting. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let me know how you've been doing. Have you guys done this challenge? Any tips for the half end? Let me know. And that is it for this video. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you're interested in this type of wellness content. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.